We'll speak with the PPR of the Ogun State Command. We're joined by Oluseyi Babasheyi virtually on the program. It's good to have you on the program. This issue has been hogging the headlines on social media regarding the user by the name Mirabel on TikTok. Well, the video originated from TikTok. She posted and she detailed what she called her experience being allegedly sexually assaulted, raped actually, and she claims that the person who assaulted her, who raped her, sent her a message and all. Now, those were allegations that she put forward, and you won't believe her, because why not? But then a lot of people have doubted her and have said, no, it's not true. They've tried to pick holes in her comments and her statement, which is why it's important to come to the authority, the police. You have begun investigation. What can you tell Nigerians about the case involving that young lady?
Presently, I'll give you background to the case. That was during Thursday night. We established contact with the victim, the said lady, and after establishing contact with her, she said she was at Ibafu, around the Ibafu area of Ogun State. So the CP gave orders to the DPO in Ibafu to communicate with her and get necessary information from her. And the necessary information we got from her, we found out that the incident happened at the Ogijo area of Ogun State, which is bordering Lagos from that area. So what happened was that when the DPO met with her, she came to the station. So he made sure he took her to the hospital for medical analysis, and she wasn't as stable as necessary. But we endeavored that investigation must continue, and for record purposes, she was taken down to the Ogun police station for adequate documentation. And after the DPO debriefed her, we found out that she's not strong enough to start divulging facts to us. So she was taken to the hospital, and as we speak, she's in the intensive care unit getting appropriate care. So that's because her medical well-being is more important to us than every other thing at this point in time. If she's very well, we can now continue investigations and get the necessary facts to corroborate the allegations she made. And this will help us to get a logical conclusion on the case.
And you know, it's quite concerning that she's in the ICU, as you say. What were your preliminary observations that warranted the police to say, well, for now, she has to go to the ICU, because you described her as unstable?
I think maybe she's going through trauma by the experience, the alleged experience, or she is having some breakdowns. So no matter how we want to get to the bottom of this issue, we need her to be stable, as any evidence we elucidate at this point may not be so cogent. So we are trying to work on her being stable, and the DPO of Ogijo is checking on her to see how she's faring, and this is part of our duties as police.
You know, there are those who have outrightly said she's lying. They have said, well, we do not believe her, and I'm sure you've seen some of those analyses online. As an investigative agency, as law enforcement agencies, how do you approach issues like this, and how do you advise people to also approach it?
We advise people not to jump into conclusions based on their emotions to issues. What we as an agency, a law enforcement agency and an investigative agency, are on the matter investigating, not jumping to conclusions, because we know that most of us were not there when these things happened, the alleged incident happened. So we have to be so conscious not to assume to the otherwise, or to buttress it, or not until we can get evidences to corroborate those facts that are on ground. And if anybody has a contrary view, they can still visit the police, give us that contrary view, so that we can work on our identities and know and get to a logical conclusion on what is happening and what has happened.
Right. Have you been able to identify the alleged attacker who she says sent a message to her?
As I told you, the investigation is ongoing and everything has to be fixed for now. We can't jump into conclusions or share information that would jeopardize our investigations to the public. But I can tell you for a fact that the Ogun State Police Command is on it.
Okay, you tell us how many people are,
and it will get to a logical conclusion.
Right. Okay, you tell us how many people are being questioned at the moment. Have there been arrests made? I mean, largely speaking, without speaking specifically, or is it just her that you're working with?
I can tell you for a fact that they have made invitations, and we won't divulge a lot of those facts for now until we get to a reasonable extent in our investigation. But we will keep the public abreast of our investigation, and it is concluded, and we will surely establish connections with the public and give them the necessary facts to buttress what is before us.
So let's talk about the girl. How is she doing?
As I told you earlier on, she's in the hospital. She's undergoing treatment. As you know, she went through trauma. So it is one of the first things. It's part of first aid and continuous aid to get her to be optimum as a person before I ask more questions and get more answers on our investigation.
There are nuances. There's that certain statement I understand she made that raises a lot of concern from people that maybe she has to be on some kind of a suicide watch. Is this something you guys are also looking at?
We for now we know she's a concerned person, and that's why we told you that we are watching her in the hospital, that care, and that is the necessary thing we can do as the police. We are.
I don't know whether I missed it, but has anybody been taken into custody? Has anybody been traced yet? Who and where are you looking at now?
We are looking at unraveling the circumstance that happened, and in that, our investigations are ongoing. And when due time, we'll give updates on it. But what we are trying to dispel is that there's an allegation online that the police arrested her. She was not arrested by the police. She had a case and reported at the police station, and we are investigating it. And nothing of such as people claim that she was arrested as seen on the social media.
Well, just before we let you go, this is a matter of national importance, a matter that, I mean, is very important to the society as well. I mean, there are two ways this can swing, right? And I want you to walk us through the possibilities. Once your investigation is concluded, it's either she's telling the truth, right, based on what she said and her experience, or not. So what are the two routes? If she's found to be telling the truth, and if she's found to not be telling the truth, what are the implications?
And generally, if she's this will achieve, the perpetrator will be arrested and charged to court appropriately. If it's to do otherwise, as you know, the law goes against giving false information, and that can make anyone who gives false information culpable.
Well, we have to thank you. I understand this is an ongoing investigation, and we appreciate you speaking with us. We know that the Lagos DVA is also set to be collaborating with authorities in Ogun State to ensure that we unravel this issue and ensure that we protect everyone. We've been speaking with... Sorry, say that again, please. All right. We'll be speaking with DCP Oluseyi Babasheyi, PPRO Ogun State Command. Thank you for your time. And of course, we'll be in touch with you to ensure that we fill Nigerians in on the developments. Thank you and wish you the very best. Well, take a moment now, and when we return, we have more for you on the program. Stay with us. you.